So this week I'm driving the 2013 Ford Escape Titanium. Now Titanium is the trim level, this car being $34,750. It has pretty much every bell and whistle you could think of for any car at 35 grand. And some things that for cars of $60,000 and $70,000, like auto park assist, which parallel parks the car for you. I'll show you that in a little bit. And then we've got things like the twin-turbo EcoBoost motor, the 2-liter inline-4 producing 240 horsepower and 270 pound-feet of torque. 21 city, 28 highway for gas mileage for an all-wheel drive. You're going to get about 22 and 30 with front-wheel drive. But the crazy thing is, this car will get up and go. The transmission will shift in a very sporty manner. You can actually use the up and downshift controls here, which not really going to do anything because it really doesn't matter. But the transmission will hold gears. It's pretty good. The car is decently sporty in a straight line. Around the corners you're getting quite a bit of mid-corner understeer, which is obviously not the greatest. But still, regardless, it's rather sporty. I've always liked this steering wheel. This is the same steering wheel that comes on the Ford Focus, and I've always enjoyed this steering wheel. The levels of comfort in here are very nice too. You've got the Sony sound system with the My Ford Touch, which has actually surprisingly been very good for me. It hasn't really done anything bad. It's a little slow to respond. The uptick is not as instant as I would like, but it's not too bad. Still, it's a good system to use, at least for me. You've heard many gripes and complaints from many people before. Another thing is it's got a lot of features in it. It's you can program 2 or 3 phones at one time. You can have 2 iPods in there at one time, which is pretty cool. So a lot of technology going on in this car. But how does that actually interact with you as the driver? Well, there's so much going on. It definitely takes some getting used to. And I'm just hitting the brakes right now. The brakes are good, very solid on this car. You get a good brake feel. A little lack of feel in the pedal, but you got good brakes. Again, good power also. As a driver in this car, everything feels very connected. You've got a lot going on, obviously, with the navigation system and all the features it has. You feel very comfortable. In fact, these seats are rather soft and rather well bolstered, which is quite nice. But I gotta say, I'm not totally in love with this car. I like it a lot, but I'm not sure that I would have it over, say, something like a Mazda CX-5, which to me is a little bit more my flavor, even with all these options. Still though, this car really outperforms itself and outperforms a lot of the competition simply for the features that you get. You have the automatic tailgate when you wave your foot or wag your foot underneath of the bumper, and it will also close the tailgate if you do the same thing again. That's pretty cool. So again, a lot of technology, a lot of usability. Now previously, if you wanted auto park assist, or basically fancy way of saying computerized parallel parking, you had to buy something that was a premium product. Mercedes-Benz, Audi, BMW, Lexus. And it was always for cars in excess of $60,000 or $65,000. Ford have actually made this system a little bit cheaper and a little bit more inexpensive for your products that you can buy on a more everyday basis. This Ford Escape is $35,000. Now I've tested this feature in a developmental stage for an Escape Electric a few years ago at the Detroit Auto Show. But now this is my first time actually testing it really in the wild, actually for real on a car. So it's going to be rather interesting. You push the Auto Park Assist button and it will tell you that it's reading cars or reading parking spaces on the left and the right. Okay, so it's looking for them. Now right now it's telling me that it's looking for a parking space on the right side. Obviously we have our parking space lined up here, and I'm going to slowly drive by the space, and then it's going to tell me, it's going to ding, it's going to say pull forward to park. You're going to pull forward a little bit, and then going to tell you to stop. Shift it in reverse, let your hands off the wheel, modulate the brake, go! Oh God, it's getting so close to that Camaro. Oh, oh God. Oh. And then once it starts to beep, put it in the drive and let it pull itself forward a little bit, and then it tells you that it's finished. Oh. Oh. That was really close. But it worked. The pucker factor is at a 9.8 right now. Gah! But it worked. So, hallelujah. Amen. I live another day and get to review more cars for you. God help you. So, alright. There you go. That's Auto Park Assist. Comfort levels are really good in this car. Front and rear, you have quite a bit of comfort. It's very comfortable, it's very soft, very form-fitting to you. I could use a little more space in the rear cargo area, but, you know, it's nice. It's not too bad. It's a little narrow, but it's still enough space for most people that will be buying this car. I think it looks really good too. I am a fan of the way the Escape looks, or as my brother likes to call it, the Escape, which is rather interesting, but hysterical at the same time. Now, driving the car, you get a good feel that you're in control, but there's a lot of stuff happening with the navigation, with all the controls, with the automatic park assist, with the tailgate going up and down, with you waving your foot underneath the bumper. That's cool and all, but how's this car really respond to somebody with a family? Well, it's comfortable. I'm averaging about 22 miles to the gallon, between 22 and 24 in the city, so I'm exceeding the EPA estimates. The car has a lot of information on its readout. You can see a lot of stuff that's going on. You can change the settings. But I'm not sure that most of the buyers of this car really care about that or really even want those kinds of features. Which is kind of sad, because I wouldn't buy this myself because I don't really need it for anything. However, it has a lot of stuff in here, a lot of technology that's really cool for somebody my age. The one thing I do find interesting is that even for all of the technology, there aren't a lot of buttons that get in your way. There's not a lot of stuff that confuses you. You just have a natural layout right down here with the climate control. You've got a very natural layout up here with your very thin, like basically about the size of a nickel, but with the thinness of a dime or a nickel. You've got your volume control up here with your tuning buttons. And also you've got your source and your sound buttons. You've got heated seats. You've got a 12-volt jack right here. You've got a 12-volt jack by the cup holders. You've got a 12-volt jack in the center console. And then you've also got a 3-prong plug in the for the back seat, which is very cool for long drives and whatnot. Say the kids want to play some video games or something in the back, or really they can do anything back there with that. In fact, in the center console, you also have AV controls. You have your yellow, red, and white plugs. So that's pretty cool. You can stick some pretty cool equipment back there. I'm not a big fan of this hard, shiny plastic right here. I feel like it takes away from the vehicle's elegance. To me, this is kind of cheap stuff that it just wears and tears a lot over time. It'll just kind of peel off or just get scratched or dented and stuff like that. And I don't like all the fingerprints. I don't like all the fingerprints on the touchscreen nav, and I don't like all the fingerprints that get on this hard, shiny plastic here. That's one thing I would definitely change. It's not my favorite. I don't like touching things that I get fingerprints all over. It's kind of weird. Definitely not appealing to me. You have a lot of features that really kind of grow on you in this car. That really makes sense. A lot of people would say, well, why would you need park assist for the 4 or 5 times you may parallel park in a year? Well, it's just to add to the simplicity of your life. It's a little bit nicer to have some of the technology, even if you're not necessarily going to use it. It doesn't cost much. It's only $995 as an option. Again, a learning curve. Takes a little bit of getting used to. Now, again, we're experiencing some of this body roll right now in these 45-mile-an-hour corners here. But the car handles itself well. It's composed. It doesn't feel unsafe. You can hit the brakes mid-corner or pre-corner, which is how you're supposed to do it, and not upset anything, which is kind of nice. You have to be careful with some SUVs. They get a little twitchy under hard braking or emergency situations. I haven't really sensed that or noticed that in this yet, which is quite nice. It's easy to drive for people of all ages. It's good for high school, college kids. It's good for older people or young parents. We've got good space in the back for child seats and also for animals. So it's a car you can use every day that you'll be happy with. I would say it's definitely better than some of its other contenders. The xenon lights and the LED running lights, I think, are very classy. They're very attractive looking. They add to some of the sex appeal of this car. Although I do think that the rear end is not the rear quarter is not my favorite. It's a little bulky, a little odd, but at the same time, we're used to very sleek and seductive SUVs trying to do things with their style and then lose interior volume and space. The Ford Escape kind of goes about just saying, screw that. It's all about function over form. We're gonna design the car around the functionalities. So I could definitely respect Ford for that and understand why they would want to do that for their customers. And I actually appreciate that, because not a lot of car companies really care about that anymore. So they'll kind of sleek things up and then lose a little bit of usability and go, yeah, but isn't it great looking? Well, yeah, but I can't fit anything in it. So why the hell am I going to buy it? So there you go.